Hi Scorpio, this is your April 2022 spiritual reading. So I'm rolling the Astro dice to see what order, and you guys are first. So let's see what messages Spirit has for Scorpio this month. I'm going to pull a bunch of cards and then we're going to start. So you can either watch the shuffling and that makes your energy even more involved. If not, you can go ahead and skip forward. We have the underworld, which is ruled by Scorpio. Hades. We have the offering and the forest. Kind of want to do one more. Wow, and the pilgrim. Bottom of the deck we have the maiden. This is the Persephone Hades story, right? The maiden in the underworld. Let's see. We have she who listens, understanding, witness, compassion, Hannah. And we have ice, stagnation. Do one more. Wow, and sun, vitality. So you guys are definitely going through a very big shift in your life. It actually feels like you guys are rising from the underworld. You guys could have been going through a very significant dark night of the soul or healing, just focused on your inner journey. And the underworld is never an easy place to be. You know, we're not able to lay out in the sun and just relax and play. That's where you go to deal with things, to do that healing, to pull those weeds out. So when you do rise, your life will be different and you'll see that transformation. But yeah, it feels like you guys have been on this journey for quite a while and you're just starting to come out of it. Like you're starting to come back and see the results of all the work that you've done and actually be able to see in the physical world how this entire journey transformed your world and your life. We have the offering, the forest, and the pilgrim. So what's interesting is that for you, it feels like your soul came into this life not wanting the easy way out. You know, it feels like some people, their destiny isn't that grand. You know, they don't have a lot to do. They're able to more like enjoy this life, more Taurus energy, your opposite sign. Whereas you, it feels like even when you do come out of the underworld and you come back, you know, to where the sun is, to where there are flowers and nature and like happiness, you still have a very intense and powerful experience, but it feels like that's how you like it. That's what your soul desires. It's what truly makes you feel fulfilled. And it feels like every time you do go back in the underworld, you make a very significant offering, right? Through transformation, we all have to experience some sort of death, you know, whether it could be death of anything, whether it's like sacrificing your current life for the life that you do want. Again, pulling out those weeds of who you used to be in order to become better and to change. And it feels like you guys are actually, you're so familiar with this energy and you see the results, and like I have my North Node in Scorpio, and my first dark night of the soul was so intense that through it, like, not to get too deep and intense, but I was almost gonna like attempt like not wanting to be here anymore. And then when I came out of it, like months after, like just seeing how much I transformed, seeing how these all different worlds opened up to me, I tell everyone, like, I would go through that again and again and again just to come out of it different and transformed every time. And it feels like you guys are the same. You see the power in that inner journey, in that inner healing, in that shadow work. And you, instead of, you know, it happening to us, a lot of times, you know, people, I mean, not normal people, but most people don't want to go on this journey. And, you know, whenever the time comes, it's kind of forced upon them. Whereas Scorpio, it feels like there are times where you intentionally go there. You know, the world doesn't open up and throw you in the underworld. You choose to go there. You choose to make an offering. You guys might, if you're into magic, and like connecting to, if you have a connection with Greek mythology, you guys might want to look into spells and just ways to connect with Persephone or Hecate. And a lot of times, you know, you make an offering based on there's, you know, what they like and their symbolism. Like for Persephone, you know, you could make it to call upon her and to connect with her and communicate with her. A lot of times, like sweets, you can eat something very sweet in honor of her, or pomegranates or something to help you connect with those energies. But also, again, it feels like you guys are the type of people who, you know, when you want to change and transform, you know exactly how to do it, and you're able to initiate it yourself, and you know exactly what you need to release and what needs to die in order to get to where you want to go. So whenever you want to change, you make that offering, and that's what opens the door for you. And it feels like, again, your life is not an easy one, not in a bad way. It's you don't want to live a shallow life. You like this depth of like always discovering more about yourself, about the universe. There's always something that the deeper you dig. And it feels like, again, all your entire life is filled with just intense experiences. It doesn't necessarily mean bad. It could be amazing, but just so intense. Like, you don't like to be in the middle. You like to experience it all. And yeah, but it feels like you're coming back up into the world and having those experiences in the physical, whereas up until now you may have been having them internally. We have the forest. The forest is stepping into the unknown. But again, for you, it feels like the unknown isn't the underworld, isn't the subconscious, isn't the spiritual realms. It's actually the 3D. It's your stepping into the unknown by going back out into the world, where your attention and focus is moving from your internal world to the external. That's where this next cycle of experiences lie. And their experiences your soul desire, so it's enjoyable. It makes you feel alive, it makes you feel fulfilled, but it does feel like there's a very big shift that's happening, and there's a new journey, new adventure opening up to you. We have the pilgrim. Again, for you, it's like every single thing in your life empowers you and is a journey of self-discovery, a journey of connecting to source, to the universe, to God. You're always on a spiritual journey, you know, in everything in your life. Like in the people you meet, you don't just have like a bunch of random friends where you talk to every now and then. If you have friends, they are people that you deeply connect with. that you're able to be yourself with, that you're able to have real, raw conversations with. So it's like everything in your life is purposeful, has a reason. So yeah, it's like that shit, you're making a shift, but it's not like everything's gonna be easy now. Because I feel like if I were to say that to you, you wouldn't be happy about it. So it's like good that like there are new adventures opening up to you in the physical world, like new doors opening for you, things that are going to be exciting for you, that are going to call you out, you know, instead of being internal, to be more external. We have Hannah, she who listens, understanding, witness, and compassion. For you guys, again, you're so deep. You've done so much healing that it's made you have compassion for others. Carl Jung says, in order to understand others, you have to first connect with your own darkness in order to accept and understand other people's. And it's when you do that, when you go through and you're aware of all this transformation that's happening within you, of all this healing, you have so much more compassion for others because you've witnessed your shadow. You know, our shadow is comprised of things that society shames and that, you know, could be violent and angry and jealous and envious and whatever. These things that normally would make us not like other people because of, you know, these certain traits that they have and they haven't acknowledged yet. You have compassion. So, and you might also want to be careful though, because no one scares you. You know, no one is too dark for you or is too broken for you. Like it's like a lot of times people go through very traumatic upbringings and that makes them behave the way that they do. And it's like you understand that, you have that innate understanding, and it makes you, instead of being afraid of someone, it makes you compassionate towards them. So if like you're interested in psychology, I don't know, I was interested in this a while ago. Like I would watch documentaries, movies of like people, like criminals, of why they do what they do. Like what, you know, watching their conversations, like listening to what they have to say and being able to see them from a different perspective was very, very eye-opening for me. That might be something you're interested in, or just in general. So there are a lot of people that come into your life during this new journey that you're going on, and it feels like you're going to drastically transform so many people's lives without even trying. Just you being who you are, having been through everything you've been through, helps people have compassion for themselves and want to go on this healing journey and to soften up. Like even people that society considers like the worst of the worst, it just feels like your energy would soften them and would bring out like that inner child within them, instead of like their trauma taking over them and acting for them. There's something that you do during this time, again, even if it's just normal conversations you have with strangers, that it's like they will never ever forget you. Like you would be a very significant part of their entire life, even if it was just one conversation. So it feels like that's part of your destiny. It's like you going through all of this helps you have such a deeper understanding about people. And that understanding and that compassion that you have helps people see themselves in a different light that is very healing, and it feels just very comforting, and like, wow, so this isn't me, this is because of everything I've been through. There is hope, there is, it's like people, you awaken them, you trigger a spiritual awakening within them, and that's a big part of your destiny. So whenever during this time you feel drawn towards someone, towards just randomly having a conversation with a stranger, definitely follow that, because that's it's like you're a healer in that way. Just one thing you say stays with them forever and changes them. So keep that in mind. Don't ever think like, oh, they don't want to be bothered, or they don't want to talk to me. No, you there's so much. It's like the conversation you have, even if it's just one with a stranger, is pure healing nectar for them. So definitely keep that in mind. And we have ice and sun. Again, you're polar opposites, right? You're coming out of that underworld where it is darker. Darkness is cold, right? It's stagnant. It's you're not necessarily making changes in your physical world, because you're making them in your inner world. And now it's like the sun is coming up, and you're gonna see those changes in your physical world. You're gonna be much more active in the 3D world. A lot of opportunities coming your way that are gonna get you to like move somewhere, or like, I don't know, it just feels like you're so much more active and out there and social, and like people are very drawn to you, to talk to you, and you're much more open to that now than you would have been before. You kind of are this sun, so don't be surprised if all of a sudden you start getting so much more attention, or you find yourself like in the spotlight quite often. That's where you're meant to be. It's part of your destiny. It's something, whatever you're meant to be doing in this time has people focused on you. You are the sun. You are healing. You're nourishing. Just the light that you emit keeps the world alive. So keep that in mind. If you don't like being the center of attention, that might be what this stepping into the unknown is for you. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's where you're meant to be. It's what your soul wants to be experiencing during this time. All right, let's see. Scorpio. Yeah, Page of Wands, very fast movement, fiery energy. Going on adventures, being much more active and present in this world. Like all that intense energy that you were focusing internally, you're now focusing externally. We have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, interesting, because you normally, when you go on that inner journey, you come out of it empowered and transformed like a phoenix rising. Whereas this time, your pilgrim or your journey is external, and you step into it as the Page of Wands, and you come out of it as the Queen of Wands. And so, again, Wands energy is very active. It's fire. It's just sort of like following your passions in this world. And it's also like people are very drawn to a Queen of Wands. You're very attractive, very like everyone wants to know about you, what you're doing, wants to talk to you. And it feels like, again, you might somehow be put in the spotlight during this time, and at first it won't feel comfortable, but then it'll feel like this is where you're meant to be. So don't avoid things that at first feel like, oh, I don't know about this, because you'll step into it. You'll understand why that's where you're meant to be during this time. We have the Five of Wands, a lot of wands, fiery energy. And the Ace of Swords. So yeah, a lot of changes happening in your external world. A lot of things coming to an end, but something brand new replacing it. Like you're actually going to visually witness what transformation is. Like it's going to be more apparent than ever before. It's going to happen right in front of your eyes. Like something ends in your life. You walk away from something or someone that you know is no longer aligned with you, and like immediately after, something brand new comes into its place. Like it's going to feel it's just going to be an incredible experience to see exactly how that works. Again, because you're so familiar with the process of transformation. When you walk away from something, you really walk away from it. And if you weren't as healed and awakened as you are now, that wouldn't have been the case. The shadow aspect of it is you may have in the past become very obsessed, even with if something ended, like you held on to that energy and the pain of that ending for a very, very long time. But now you're at a point where you know you have to let all that go for something new to come into its place. And you're like a pro at that. You're able to do that instinctively. You could also have your moon in Scorpio, or in the 8th house. But yeah, it's like you're going to witness you cutting something off immediately after something comes into it, comes and takes up its space, something brand new. We have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, you're ending there's a lot of things that you're walking away from that you know aren't aligned to you, that aren't serving you, and it feels like if you are put in a position of fame, honestly, it feels like some of you are gonna be famous during this time, or like gonna have like a lot of followers or a lot of eyes on you. You're gonna somehow be in the spotlight, and you're gonna find that all of a sudden, like, people start asking you for favors or asking for you to take them wherever you're going. Like, you're gonna realize, wow, you haven't even talked to me or asked me how I'm doing, and now all of a sudden you want to be my best friend. And it feels like you're going to immediately recognize that fakeness from people that may have been in your life already, and you're going to choose to walk away. You're very focused and protective of your energy and of all the work that you've put to becoming who you are now, and you're not going to allow anything or anyone in your life who isn't aligned to that, and who isn't awakened, who isn't just real and honest and raw. Like, you see right through people. And again, this transformation process is taking place in the 3D, and not only do you witness it directly, but you are making a lot of these sacrifices, you're intentionally causing endings that you no longer want in your life. We have the Nine of Wands, the Fool, and the Star. Yeah, you're coming out of the underworld so powerful, like standing in your power. You know, you've been on this journey for so many times over and over again that you're a pro. You really are embodying Hecate, her energy. She is the guide in the underworld, where everyone else would be panicking, not being able to see. She knows exactly the way to go, and it feels like that's the energy you're embodying. So you're coming out of this, you're rising like a phoenix and stepping into this new journey, this new external adventure. And again, a big part of that, we have the star. You definitely, some of you are going to be stepping into fame and stepping into the spotlight during this time. And others of you, a lot of people are going to be coming to you and just randomly having these connections with strangers or just brand new people all of a sudden you find are in your life, and you're a very significant healing energy for them. You do trigger a lot of spiritual awakenings, and that's how you change the world, right? It's you work on yourself and you do that healing so your light becomes brighter and brighter, and that light is so healing, and it carries information, and whoever is around you, whoever is in that energy gets awakened, gets healed. They just feel different in your presence, and these messages their energy picks up on your energy, and that stays with them and triggers that awakening within them. So yeah, you're going to be changing so many lives without even realizing it. But that's your gift. That's your blessing to the collective. It's you having this very intense life and going through, like, you have lived multiple lifetimes in one, and you're strong enough to go on that healing journey and to do that shadow work and to become better and use everything in your life to become more self-aware because of everything that you've done. Your soul has taken up all of that intensity to be able to become this light for others, to be able to become this healing presence for others. But yeah, there's a shift happening, but it's not like that. It's not going to be that different. It's still you're still true to yourself, but everything that was happening more internally and in the, like, not in the, you weren't physically seeing the changes, you were experiencing them and feeling them, now are going to become very physical for you. And I feel like that's going to be very exciting and interesting for you to just witness exactly how powerful transformation is and how much power we have to change our lives. All right, let's see. We'll pull one more card and see if there are any other messages. For Scorpio. Oh, we have power over difficulty, reclaiming your power, number 32. Again, like we were saying, this journey isn't like a very easy, quiet, nothing is happening. There are so many events and new adventures and obstacles that you move through, that it feels like now, like coming out of this past cycle, you really are much more powerful than you've ever been before, and you're able to, like, nothing stands in your way anymore. Nothing is impossible for you. It's like every time you come out of that underworld, you get bigger and bigger and more powerful. And now, like, things that seemed like very hard and big and like difficult are now like tiny little specks. Like, they're nothing to you. You've really found your power. You have become someone that is unstoppable. Like, if whatever you choose to do and choose to achieve in this life, is yours. But it feels like for you, it's what you truly desire is more internal and more focused on like healing and experiencing instead of like having things. But if you were, whatever you would ever want is yours. You have the power to move past any obstacles, to let go of anything that you know no longer serves you. Now you're in a place where you're able to truly release things from your life and to let go in order for something new to come in. And it's this power that you have. Again, it's like, it is like a God energy, right? Like in Greek mythology, the gods were just these grand beings, and it feels like that's the energy you're embodying, and that's why so many people are looking up to you and are going to have their eyes on you, because your energy is so grand right now. You're demanding respect, and you're demanding not attention, but to be seen and to be heard. You really are like the sun during this time. So yeah, be prepared for that. Be prepared for having a lot more attention and eyes on you than you have ever before, and just know that that is where you're meant to be, because that's how you're able to help and heal and awaken as many people as you can in this life. By having all those eyes on you, you're able to impact all of their lives instead of having like one-to-one conversations. All right, Scorpio, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.